Hey guys, Ron here. Check and make sure we're on. So I'm here for you today. I'm sorry, I just have to check the camera because I can't see a damn thing. I'm here for you today in front of Gene Hackman. I would believe was the Gene Hackman and his late wife, the late Gene Hackman and his late wife, Betsy Arakawa's last home in Beverly Hills before they moved out to New Mexico, where they have died, and they were discovered deceased only 6 days ago at the time of this filming. So why am I premature? Why am I doing this? Why am I going to talk about this now? Well, I thought to myself, because I went to the Matthew Perry death house, the house that Matthew Perry died in, just one day after he died, and I talked about that, and obviously there was no way I could have known it was a ketamine, any of us could have known it was a ketamine overdose, among other things. So we don't yet know, so there's precedent for it on my part. So I'm going to speculate again today, talk about what people are saying about Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa and their dog's mysterious death. I'll show you the house and I'll show you the street. And for some reason, this normally quiet Beverly Hills street, just about every street is taken. Every spot on the street is taken parking. Now I know they're doing, I think they knocked down the house next door. We'll see in a minute. It must be construction workers, but can't find a parking spot on a residential street right off Sunset Boulevard in Beverly Hills. 63 degrees today and breezy, early March, but that's California. All right, let's see. Sure, this house has been, I'm not sure. I'm sorry we're in the sun here, but has been redone since Hackman lived here. I don't know for sure. It looks like it's been, there's a camera I see on the house. Let's jump right in and talk about it. So 6 days ago at the time of this filming, Gene Hackman, his wife Betsy, and one of their 3 dogs, I believe the dog was a puppy, was found dead in their home. Now, my first thought was, like everybody else, or a lot of people, and we'll just film the house and talk. My first thought was, since we're right in the sun here, my first thought was gas leak. Why is everybody dead? Suddenly. Apparently suddenly. But it wasn't suddenly. Neighborhood watch. Report mysterious, suspicious behavior. So, but clearly it wasn't. When I heard that 2 other dogs lived, although they had access to the outside, I said, okay, not a gas leak. Here's the house that's being torn down. So why did the other dogs, by the way, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm not going to really talk about Gene Hackman and his career. Fantastic actor, tons of gravitas. Couldn't make it with the pretty boy image, so he really had to learn how to be a great actor, or just was inherently a great actor. I'd love to hear about the days that he was roommates with Dustin Hoffman and Bob Duvall. But anyway, so we know that Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy found dead, and the dog found dead. The dog was apparently in the closet, probably in a crate. Now, I have a lot of questions. I've talked to a lot of people. The speculation now, 6 days after the death, is that Gene Hackman had a pacemaker that for some reason did not report stopping or ceasing activity or a change in activity 9 days earlier. So they believe he was dead 9 days, at least 9 days before he was found, which was another issue. One of the daughters said that she was close with Hackman, her father, but hadn't really talked to him in a couple of months. Personally, I don't think any of the kids were close with him. It also seems that Gene probably had dementia and that Betsy was his primary caretaker. They think that Betsy may have been dead longer than the 9 days that Gene was apparently dead. And a minute ago I mentioned to you, the pacemaker. Well, it seems to me a mystery as to why, after at least 9 days of no activity, Gene's pacemaker did not report to his healthcare provider, doctor, or the software. I don't really know how it works. But I've seen people write in different things. Some say it's mandatory to have a pacemaker that does signal the healthcare provider if there's a change, or certainly a heart stops beating. And I've seen other people say they have older pacemakers that do not report, or it's voluntary whether they want them to report changes. We know that Betsy was found on the floor, I believe in a bathroom, with prescription medication, which they're not yet revealing what that medication, I don't even know if it was prescription medication, but pills scattered around the area there, and a space heater. So was she dead longer? They're saying her hands and feet were mummified, and a lot of forensic people don't like to use the term mummified, but that's sort of the term that they're using now, which means, you know, it really means in a kind of a moderate to advanced state of decomposition, meaning they've been gone for a while. Now, apparently the I don't know, the guy was a landscaper. This individual put out a lengthy statement saying that he was very close to Gene Hackman and to Betsy, and that Gene would come out and help him and his workers over the years work on the house and work around the house. He was very grateful to him, and that Betsy listened to his problems and was very nice to his dog. Almost like, sounds like the man was a family friend. The strange thing is that he is the one who called 911, and he said he could see Betsy laying on the ground inside the home, but he didn't go around to the back of the house because there was apparently a back door that was either unlocked or ajar, not the front door that he tried. So a lot of kind of mysterious things here. Maybe he just didn't want to go in the house and be involved in what he thought might have been a crime scene. So what happened? There's speculation, and I think this one's the closest to the truth. I don't know, but the speculation is that Betsy died first. She was only, what, 64, 65? Might have had a stroke, heart attack, may have been reaching for pills for pain, collapsed. And they say that Gene, Mr. Hackman, who was wearing slippers and sweatpants, I believe, although sunglasses, might have found her and might have tried to go out of the residence to try to get help. You know, why he didn't call 911, or neither one called 911, mysterious. But that's a theory now, that Gene being sort of, if Betsy was truly his primary caretaker, he might have wandered around for God knows how long, Gene, before he simply collapsed. Although that's quite an extreme reaction to Betsy's down, I don't know what to do, I've got dementia and a bad heart. I mean, did he suddenly drop, you know, from a... By the way, somebody is right there at the house. I was just filming it. Here's the old Hackman house, and there's a man standing there now. So I won't be standing in front filming at the moment. And here's someone else, looks like, coming out the next door. So anyway, very mysterious as to no 911 calls. But that seems to be one of the prevailing theories, that Betsy died, collapsed first. Gene didn't know what to do. He was trying to get out of the house. They say that because of the sunglasses. And couldn't find his way out, or had come in from the inside and found her and not know what to do. But then again, so how long did he just keel over and die? It was shocked that she was gone. Very mysterious. I don't believe personally that Betsy killed herself upon finding Gene dead. I mean, of course I can't say for sure what one's grief would do, but her husband was 95 years old, and I don't think it would be a major shock that he was going to die sometime in the near future. So suicide seems like quite an extreme reaction. Did the space heater, did she trip over the cord and hit her head? They say there's no signs of foul play, but now they say mysterious. Well, foul play to me would be a big bump or bruise on the head, contusion. So we just don't know. We just don't know. And what of the dog? Why was the dog crated up in a closet? And did the dog die of starvation, you know, malnutrition? They say that a dog, after 3 days of no water, is going to be close to death. I had no idea. And What of the dogs outside? Now I know apparently, oh, let me go back. That's quite a house. The home, the dog outside, the dogs that are in and out. Okay, so they're in and out, so that's fine. Here's the home again. I'll see if this man is here. So the home, so in and out, camera's there too, by the way. So the dogs are in and out, but how are they getting water and food on his property? I mean, presumably it was on his property. I assume it had a very large backyard. The house, I believe, was 6,000 square feet, which leads to another question. And the other question is, as I stumble around here to get to what I want to, are we here? The other question is, why didn't they have no cameras, by the way, too? Why wasn't there home health care or someone, a maid, a driver, housekeeper, a cook, someone? I mean, it just seems kind of like someone who has a 6,000 square foot and that much wealth. I mean, that's extremely private to not have a staff of some sort working for you. And you would think in at least 9 days, maybe more, that these people would have been there and discovered Betsy and Jean and the dog. Maybe they did and fled, didn't report it. It just doesn't seem likely, though. So the whole thing is very mysterious, why these two individuals live in a huge home, a man who had amassed wealth. Children didn't check on him, no friends apparently checked on them or relatives, no staff either was hired, or if they did have staff, no one checked on them or was there, and laying dead for at least over a week. Add that to the pacemaker, perhaps mystery, the other dogs surviving just fine. All the rest. Now, at this point of this filming, we'll be looking at this in the future and know all these answers, hopefully. We may not know all the answers, but it's a very, very, very mysterious situation, and I hope they get to the bottom of it. But all those questions I just raised, especially the lack of staff, the lack of friends and family checking on them, the lack of a 911 call, no cameras in the home, 2 of the dogs surviving and 1 not. Gene with his sunglasses, with his sweats and his slippers. So again, was he heading out trying to get help? I don't even know if they had neighbors nearby. Could he drive? Did he not want to pick up the phone and call 911? Could he not see in the dark? Was it at night? Just a lot of mysteries. Warrants being said 3 times. And did I say the only reason I'm wearing the hat today is because real bad hair day, but the haircut will be next week. Okay, now here's a home right here, much smaller than 6,000. Well, I don't know about that. And you can see that the nanny. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I hope I may not be right about that. But I have actually seen people in maids' uniforms here in Beverly Hills before, and I see nannies with children all the time in the strollers. Usually someone has some sort of a staff. Not that Betsy was old and couldn't do things, to the contrary, but just seems very, very strange to me. So I will walk by, we'll take one last look at the Beverly Hills home of Gene Hackman. Again, I'm not sure, but I think it's the last home they had, they had. He and Betsy were married 30 years before they made the move out to New Mexico. And it's interesting too, because over the months in the last couple of years, the tabloids on social media have been showing frail Gene Hackman, makes seed in New Mexico, in his cane and looking very frail. And he was still in the news, even though he had long since retired. He was just out of the public eye. And then to hear this, just unbelievable. All right, guys, so Ron here signing off. I'm sure there'll be lots of comments with theories in the comment section. I hope there are, because I would love to hear your theories as well. And then when we know what happened, we'll see who was closest to the truth. All right, guys, Ron here again. As I said, please give likes, because that's how my channel moves through the algorithm of YouTube. And I guess all there is to say is I will see you at the next location, and it's great being back. And I wanted to talk about this, come up to Beverly Hills and talk about this as soon as I can. And now I've got the long drive home, because one thing that's a constant in Los Angeles, rush hour as they call it, starts at about 2 o'clock. So lots of traffic everywhere. Okay guys, see you at the next location. Thanks, bye bye.